the most awesome giveaways on sensory toys, educational tools, and kid products all in one spot. This is Sensory Deal Live. Hey y'all, Angela here. Today we're going to dive into what these skills are, why they are super important, and how we can develop them in ourselves and our kiddos. Fine motor skills are all about using those small muscles in your hands and fingers, and they're crucial for things like writing, drawing, and getting dressed. But did you know that they also help with brain development, language skills, and social emotional growth? So, whether you're a parent, teacher, or just someone who's interested in learning more, we've got you covered. So, let's get this party started. Hey, y'all. We are so glad you're here with us this evening. Please feel free to comment or send any questions you may have below. We would love to hear from you guys. And if you are going to be playing the replay, please hashtag replay and also send us your questions. We will happy to answer them for you later. So today's guest has a lot of experience and know-how when it comes to fine motor skills. He is the CEO of a company that creates sensory toys. Please help me welcome HandiThings, Brian Heinz. Brian is the second generation owner of HandiThings. HandiThings is the creator of the unique handwriting aid, HandiWriter. Brian and his fiancee Carrie are dedicated to making high quality products to help people of all ages in their daily lives. Their mission is to always offer the highest quality products, deliver the best customer care, and continue to help people all around the world. Hey, Brian, how are you today?
I'm good, Angela. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get started with the basics. What are motor skills?
Motor skills are a function or an activity involving specific movements of the body's muscles to perform a task. In a nutshell, there's a big difference between fine motor skills and gross motor skills that we obviously we'll get into with the further questions. But basically, that's what a motor skill is. It's using the muscles of the body to perform a task.
That's a great definition. Why, and it goes into this next one. Why are fine motor skills what are fine motor skills and how do they differ from the gross motor skills?
Okay, and that's the question. It's the whole reason we're doing the show tonight, because we're focusing on the fine motor skills.
Yes.
The biggest difference with the fine motor skills is you're using the smaller muscles in the hands and wrists for activities like holding a pencil, cutting with scissors, putting Legos together, puzzles, stacking blocks, things like that. The gross motor skills require whole body movements, the larger muscles of the body. So we're talking about things like walking, running, jumping, climbing stairs, throwing a football around, things like that.
Great definitions. I know with fine motor skills, normally kids go to OT therapy, like my son's in OT. So I'm learning about this one this year. Our next question will be, why are fine motor skills important for children's overall development?
Well, for overall development, when you're involving those smaller muscles in conjunction with the brain and the nervous system to control movements in areas like the hands, fingers, lips, eyes, it helps children to do simple tasks like eating, writing, getting dressed, moving objects around. So these are vital to a child's development. So that all comes back to fine motor, doing all those simple tasks.
Very true. I know, like my son, he's still at 6, he's almost 7. He is still learning how to open a bag of chips, believe it or not. So that's one
Right.
of those things in
That's a fine
OT.
motor skill.
And,
Exactly.
and a lot of us parents take that for granted. You don't realize how hard it is for a kid that's still developing those muscles to actually open, say, a bag of chips or
Yes.
zip up their jacket or anything like that.
Yep. Ziploc bags, little minor things that we use every day.
Yes. Well, we are going to cut to a clip real quick and we will see you back real soon.
Okay.
And we're back. This is, I put it on, this is our handy writer, which we just did the video on. So, what I love about this, and my son loves this thing, I have to say for sure, we have tried a lot of writing aids in the last 2 years between OT and speech. This one is the most comfortable. He does not like handwriting aids anymore. But then when we came across you and we found this product, he actually uses it. He wants to use it. And it's not, dreading, oh, I got to do handwriting. So what you do is you hold the string and then you put, doing this one. You put the pencil or pen in here. And then this is how the child learns to hold their pencil properly, which my son had a problem with it and he does not like writing. He's getting better at it, especially thanks to the handy writer, because all the other aids he's tried, they're not comfortable, they're bulky, and he doesn't want to write for very long. So that's the handy writer. All right, next question is, we have Christina. She messaged, she said, I just love this product. She said Southpaw is super helpful. As a Southpaw, this is super helpful.
She's a lefty, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Works
And I'm
very well with lefties, yeah.
I never heard Southpaw, so that's a new one. You taught me something new, Christina. I'm a Southpaw and I didn't even know it.
That's a boxing term, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I'm a lefty. All right, next question is going to be, what are some everyday activities that rely on the fine motor skills?
Goodness, I mean, it's endless. Anything from brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, tying your shoes, using a phone. Anything that you're involving the hands in conjunction with the brain to perform a task. Writing. When you relate to people like our age, even adults, we're constantly doing fine motor things. Putting the keys in your car to start it, or in the door lock to open it. Those are all fine motor activities. But with children, things like stacking blocks, like I said earlier, putting Legos together, playing with Play-Doh, those are everyday things, and they experience that all day at school, when they're at home playing, constantly with the fine motor skills.
And also opening, say, like a water bottle or a Powerade bottle.
Yes.
That's also another example as well.
Yeah, you're almost, unless you're just sitting around watching TV, and even then, a lot of people are doing things with their hands. Your day is filled with nothing but fine motor skills.
That is very true. How can parents, caregivers, educators, and therapists help children develop their fine motor skills?
Well, there's a number of different ways you can do that, and it's all going to depend on, obviously, on their age. So when we're dealing with little ones, you can do things as simple as having them sit on your lap with a book and having them turn the pages, or showing them and helping them how to turn pages, things like that. Give them a toy that has moving parts on it that are attached, that they can grab and pull on, that isn't going to get away from them. They could keep it close to them and make it a little bit easier. Anything that they can manipulate. You can play games, sing songs that have hand motions and things like that in them, to get them to move along with it. And just anything involving grasping, holding, pressing buttons, using what we call the pincher grasp, which is this right here with the thumb and the index finger, is very important. So as they get older, things like getting dressed, buttoning, zipping, snapping, using a buckle, fasteners, things like that. You can have them help with normal daily tasks like dinner, cutting, chopping, mixing, setting the table, cleaning up afterward, using a rag or a sponge. These are all developmental things. Pouring a cup of juice, putting lids on and off of Tupperware. All those things are great things you can do with your kid. Makes them feel involved, they're helping, and they're getting those skills at the same time.
Those are some super good tips, for sure. Like the setting the dinner table, because then you're also getting your family involved. It's not just you as the parent delivering the meal to them. They're also helping and contributing as well. I know with Skylar and so Skylar is 6 and Jace is 2. They're my 2 boys. With both of them, I actually bought a busy board that helps with like the fastening. So now my 2-year-old's a lot better than my 6-year-old was at his age, because we introduced the busy board and a lot of other fine motor skills to help with that early. Since we learned it from the 6-year-old, we were like, let's start early with the 2-year-old.
That's fantastic. Love it. And going back real quick, and another great part of that with helping with dinner and setting the table is I feel like that's kind of a lost thing now. Eat family dinners. They're wonderful. I did it growing up. I did it with my kids. It's a great bonding time, and you're developing those important skills at the same time.
That is very true. Very, very true. Our next question is, what are any red flags or warning signs that parents should look out for when it comes to fine motor skill development?
Um, in my own research, and I will state that I am not an OT or a CODA. My experience with this is dealing with my customer base, learning, getting feedback, learning from my mom, who was a CODA, who was the one that developed all of our products, and being around her when she taught. But from what I've seen, some biggies are at a young age. We're talking around 6 months or so. If they're constantly closed fist, they're not bringing the hands up to the mouth. We all know babies are constantly moving their hands up to the mouth. If their hands are constantly clenched, they're not moving the extremities around a lot, or trying to grasp at things, or even focusing, looking on things that they see. Those can be some red flags. In later years, if they're generally just abnormally slow at tasks like getting dressed, or normal functions at school, or they have trouble with it, things like cutting with the scissors, if they have difficulty with that and it takes them a really long time, really poor handwriting, writing really slowly, it isn't necessarily a problem, but it could be something to keep an eye on. If they're not using both the hands at the same time together. These are all signs that something may be a little off.
Those are some great key points to look out for parents. Thank you.
Mhm.
Now we are going to cut to a clip and we will see you guys soon. Hey everyone, welcome back. So here is the hand weight that we have here. What I love is the open part of this, how it's open hand. That one was big for me and my son, because I know if you wear a glove, it's hard to get the grasp and everything like that. So all you do is you put it on here. And what I love is it's versatile. So of course, me as a lefty, I put it there. But you can flip it over and then you can use it on the other hand. So you can, if you want to buy two, you can. But also, if your child doesn't need two at the same time, then they can switch over. Say if they're writing with one hand, they can use it for writing. And then if they're building blocks, you can, switch it over. So this is it. This is a size small. So of course, it's a little bit small on me, but this is the one my son uses. All right. Next question is going to be, how do fine motor skills relate to social, emotional learning and behavior?
That's that's a loaded and important question, and something I've done some research on as well. The easiest way to explain that is compared to gross motor skills. The fine motor skills are more strongly related to social interaction. Children that interact with their peers through play are typically using fine motor skills. And if they are having issues with that, they could tend to be more withdrawn, not want to engage. Shy. If a child has problem, like I said, using their hands or something, they might not want to go play that board game if they have difficulty with that. And that can lead them to be very nervous. So that can definitely impact their social behaviors. And compared to cognitive development, which is thinking, exploring, figuring things out, it can definitely cause a problem if they're not able to do those things. They might feel like subpar compared to their peers if they have difficulty doing those, so they may tend to stay away.
That is very, very true. I know, say, like with my son, he normally is shy at first. But then once he gets to know, people, they grow on him and everything like that. But at first, I think it's more he's not self-confident because if they're playing a game, say like basketball, he's still learning to dribble.
Right.
So he's not going to be as confident as, say, someone that knows how to play basketball when it comes to a group of people that he doesn't know. You want to show off your skills, not your weaknesses with new people.
Exactly.
So that
And
is, I completely agree.
sports is a very good example of that. Whereas sports involves a lot of gross motor skills as well, depending on what the sport is, there is a lot of fine motor skill involved with that. You take a sport like baseball, which is where you're using your hands a lot with a smaller object. And if a child has problems with that, and all the kids are playing baseball, then they're not going to want to join in.
That is very, very true. Are there any fun and engaging activities that parents and children can do together to improve fine motor skills?
Tons. I mean, just tons and tons. I think of things that my mom did with me when I was little. We would string Cheerios on a piece of string, which is a great. I mean, it's so using that pincher grasp and the hand-eye coordination, the cognitive behavior to figure out I got to get this onto here. You can use beads. That's a great one. Playing games. Think about Connect Four, where you're dropping the pieces in, picking them up and dropping them in, a lot like using a piggy bank. Piggy bank's another good example of that. Playing Monopoly, moving the pieces around the board, checkers, chess, anything like that are great games and things that you can do. When you're talking about smaller, like babies, like I said before, toys with ribbons or things that they can grasp, a drum that they can bang on. Almost every baby I know loves banging on stuff. So, a little drum is a perfect way to do that. Small pieces of food in front of them, or the little biter biscuits and things like that. They're going to grab and bring to their mouth. Those are all great ways to stimulate those fine motor skills.
Those are some great suggestions. I know one big thing that my 2-year-old and 6-year-old love is kinetic sand. Um,
Yes.
So, and then Play-Doh, of course. My 2-year-old discovered Play-Doh, so he dried everything up we had. He dried our stash up.
That's easy to do.
Had to learn how to make homemade Play-Doh just to keep it cheap.
Yeah. It's easy to do too.
Yes, it really is. And it's fun to get the kids involved with making the Play-Doh too, because of course to knead it, you have to, you got to keep it going. So those are the two big ones that my two boys do right now. And then of course, like my daughter, she's super creative. So she likes to, string necklaces. She even does the friendship bracelets. So for girls, that's a big one. Because of course you have to, braid it and do your little knots and stuff for the friendship bracelets.
Perfect.
We got a Facebook user says, I am excellent in baseball, but can't touch math.
I don't
That's
think I
awesome.
can help with that.
I'm not big on math either. It's okay. I'm right there with you. Next question, our last question is, what are some tools and resources that parents and teachers can use to support fine motor development in children?
There's endless amounts, and they're extremely easy to find. This right here, the internet, is going to be your best resource. You simply Google fine motor activities. You're going to come up with stuff that it would take your entire lifetime to read. What I recommend is buying our stuff. we
Of
make a
course.
lot of stuff for that. Lackey Kid does. There's tons of companies out there, all joking aside, that specify in making products for fine motor development. And the great thing about those toys, if you want to call them a toy, which it really honestly is, but for example, let me show you something we've got here. This is one of our fine motor products. It's called the Digit Fidget. It's just a simple ring. It's quiet. It's easy to use. All you do is, let me see if I can show you this. It's a little smiley face on a string that goes through tunnels.
Oh,
And you just sit
cool.
here and you work this through these tunnels with your thumb and you go along with it. So things like that you can find all over the place. They're quiet, they're engaging. And the great thing about it is once the child starts playing with something like this, they kind of get focused on it and they're just having fun. They're determined. They want to get it from one end to the other. And they're building those important skills without even knowing it. So there's so much stuff like this out there. Another great resource is just going to be school, whether it's preschool or elementary school. Most schools have an OT or a CODA or a special ed teacher that you could reach out to, and they're going to be a wealth of information. And they can lead you to activities or books, things like that, podcasts, webinars. It's endless in today's age with what we have with the internet. So you can find just about anything you could ever need.
That is very true. And those are awesome tips because I know my first go to is Google
Yeah,
and then Amazon. Those are my two go to.
right. That's most of us nowadays.
Yeah. Christy has a comment. She said, "Hello, this is great information for younger children. Do you have any thoughts for older children?" Christy, how old are your kids? So we have an idea to pinpoint on activities. Let's see if she messages back.
It depends on the age. Like I said earlier, once you get into to older things like having them help you with cooking.
She said
15
he
years
is
old.
15.
So yeah, things like preparing dinner is a great one, especially if you're doing stuff like, and it depends on if you're comfortable with having your child use a knife to chop things up, but with supervision, that could be a great one, or just mixing, stirring, adding ingredients, things like that. Again, with board games, 15-year-olds right in there with playing things like Monopoly or chess or checkers. And that's something you could, not only is it great motor development, it's great family time as well. One
Very
thing I
true.
would
How
not
about folding clothes? Sorry.
folding clothes, that's a good one too. Video games are not going to be something I would suggest there. Sitting and using a video controller where it might require a little bit of fine motor, I would try to shy away from that.
That's one thing I'm having problems with is getting my son away from that phone game. That's his favorite. And you could tell when he gets frustrated from a Minecraft game because he starts grunting and you're like, oh man, just take a break.
Yes, I can totally
Don't
relate
throw
to
the
that.
phone.
Yes, I can relate.
Yes. All right, we are going to cut to our last clip, and we will be back with you guys soon. Hey y'all, welcome back. We have two comments. So before I go to that, I tried to put this on. It's a small. It does not fit me, but it's for my son. So this is the. I tried. I was like, I don't want to stretch it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
I've got a black shirt on, so it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, there's our artwork.
So that's how that goes. It's got little tubes here, if you can see, and that's where the weight is. So it's not on where your arm rests. It's on top of the arm.
Yeah, this is real smooth right here, so it's not going to catch on anything. It focuses the weight pushing downward instead of pulling down. So whatever you're doing, it's putting the weight on top.
And I love how stretchy it is, and it's not itchy on the inside, because that's one thing with my son. He does not like t-shirt tags and stuff like that. So that is one thing I love, that he does not complain about itchiness. So it's super stretchy, super breathable, and it's evenly distributed. Now, let me go to these comments. Jason said, I play chess with my son before bedtime as well. Oh, that's awesome. That definitely helps. And
Fantastic.
then,
Stimulates the brain as well.
yes, and that's the main thing that we want to strive for, is to help with those developmental processes and keep them going. Chrissy says, haha, we need to limit electronics. Yes, we all need to limit
Yeah.
electronics, even us adults. I know I catch myself scrolling sometimes and I'm like,
Yep.
I could be mopping right now. I could do something around the house.
Yep. We're all guilty of it, I'm sure.
Yes. And then Jill says, oh, I may have to invest in some for my son and I. Definitely. What I love about the arm weight and the hand weight is it's not just for kids. It is not just for kids that are in OT. It is for adults. It is for anybody like with hand, like my mom, she trimmers. So she's got the shakes a little bit in her hands because she has carpal tunnel and arthritis and all that fun stuff when you get old. Um, so the hand weight is perfect for her because that'll help steady her hand when she's trying to write or when she's trying to do anything, like even say open a jar, because of course if you've got the tremors, it's hard to get that grasp. So what I love is your products are not just based on kids, like it's for everyone of all ages.
Correct. Yeah. In regards to what you were just talking about, with little ones, while there can be tremoring, the main reason that my mom created the hand weight was for the input. She worked with special needs kids, so you could have special needs kids that aren't as aware of their hands, so they aren't as apt to use them. When you put that weight on there, it gives it input. They are more aware of their hands because they feel that weight, they feel that compression, much like the arm weights as well. Whereas you could have adults who suffer from Parkinson, may have had a stroke, or just simply have tremors, which is quite common as you get older. Get shaky hands, and the weight works great for that as well. So it has a variety of uses, and it's very helpful for all of them.
I definitely can tell a difference when my son wears the handy weight or the hand weight and the arm weight, because we do them separately. I don't put them both on him. So like we'll do say handwriting. So he's got 1 or 2 pages of handwriting to do. So he'll use the hand weight part for the handwriting. And then say if we're doing something with science where he's got to take and build and stuff like that, then that's when I use the arm weight at home. So those are, yes, all your products are amazing. We use
Thank
them
you.
all here. Well, thank you, Brian, for joining me today. I have learned so much from our conversation. Now, for those of you who do not know yet, we are celebrating Autism Awareness Month. And a part of that is for the celebration is our biggest giveaway to date. Come join our autism awareness giveaway. We have awesome products to give away from Lackey Kid, Hedgehog Health, HandiThings, Summerfly, and Melissa Finkelstein. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be doing a drawing and announcing week 3 winner of our giveaway. So you still have 2 chances. You still have time to join, sign up, and you have a possibility of winning. Now these are awesome prizes. Everything accumulates to over $400. So like this is the best calming corner, sensory toolkit. Like this is an amazing bundle. All you need to do is to join. You simply go to the link that we have in the comments, sign up, and then we will announce our winners on our Sensory Deal Facebook. Now, Brian, I am sure our audience is curious about HandiThings, which, by the way, he is doing an amazing deal. We are giving $2 off HandiThing products for the Sensory Deal. So definitely, if you are interested, anybody is interested in looking into these products, we highly, highly suggest you do it. And right now you get $2 off. So it's an amazing opportunity. Just you don't even have to worry about the shipping. Of course, Amazon takes care of that for you. especially if you're a Prime person.
Yes.
But yeah, $2 off any of them. So even if you just wanted, say, the handy writers, which comes in a pack of a few of them, a 4-pack is what I have here. This is the boys one. And then they also have these really cute dolphin ones for girls. Of course, it doesn't have to just be for girls, but I know my daughter prefers the dolphin over baseball. So that is one thing to think about. So, where can we find your products and where can we connect with you?
The products, as you mentioned, are on Amazon. We have our hand weights, our arm weights, our handy writers are all currently live on there. Our fine motor products are not on there yet. We are in the process of working on that and getting those listings built. But you can get any of those on our website. So along with Amazon, you've got our website, www.handythings.com. And through the website, we have all of our contact info, our email, phone number, Facebook page. If you go to Facebook, just put in HandiThings, which is HandiThings LLC, and that will come up. If you just put HandiThings, it'll take you to the wrong one. So make sure you put LLC behind it, and you can tell because I update it all the time. So those are the best ways to get a hold of us, and that's how you can find our products. As we're talking fine motor tonight, we do carry a variety of fine motor products. They're all handmade here in the U.S. With the highest quality standards, and they are all designed specifically for all those fine motor tasks: buttoning, pincher grasp, visual tracking, all those things.
Awesome. Jamie Phillips said, "What is the material used for the pencil holder?" So for the handy writer.
For the handy writer, that is a knitted cotton band. And then we use a silk cord and the plastic bead.
It's definitely the most comfortable one my son loves. Like, I will rant and rave about this sucker. If anyone ever says at OT, I can't find a good writing aid, I'm like, I got you.
Yeah. Well, and
I
that,
even
that
gave one away to my son's little friend there. She was having problems with one of those aids. It was too bulky for her and uncomfortable. So I asked her mom, I was like, do you mind if he gives her this? And she's like, well, what is it? So I demonstrated, and she's like, where did you find that? And I was like, it's okay, I got you.
Yeah, that was interestingly enough, that was the very first product that my mom invented. It was basically what started this company, and it's kind of our signature product. And she designed it to address all of the aspects of a proper handwriting grip. The pincher grasp, the pulling the pencil back into the web space, taking the pinky and ring finger out. So that is why that design is so specific and unique compared to just your normal pencil grips, which are great, and you can use them in conjunction with the handy writer, but those don't address all those other issues like the handy writer does.
Very, very true. Well, don't forget, if you forget any of the links we have in our comments below, feel free to go to sensorydeal.com. We will have everything also linked there, so it'll be easy access to get everything HandiThings. And I am super excited to hear what comes out of HandiThings in the future, because I know you've got some stuff collaborating and stuff in the works, and I'm so excited to see what comes out of everything. Jamie has another comment before we leave. She says, have you tested them with children with sensory issues with things like touching?
I personally have not. That's things that my mom did in her almost 40 years of working with special needs kids. And typically what she would find is it's kind of hit or miss. Some of the kids did okay with it. Other kids that have high sensory issues, especially with things touching them or wearing things, they could have an issue with that for sure.
Very true. Jamie said, my son has a meltdown wearing a watch. I would be afraid he wouldn't wear it.
Yeah, that's tough to answer. There's a pretty good chance he wouldn't, but it could be with a watch. I don't know if it's a leather band or has a buckle or things like that that feel uncomfortable against his skin. With the knitted cotton band, it is very soft, and that's the only part of the handy writer that actually touches the skin, other than where you're grasping the bead. That's the only part that wraps around the wrist is the soft band. So it might be worth a shot to see, and it could be that he simply doesn't like it if he doesn't like wearing a watch either.
That is very true. And I do agree with you. That is very stretchy. So, like with me, I don't honestly like wearing, my husband got me a Fitbit like a long time ago, one of those, fancy watches. And because it is a plastic hard band, it's hard for me to want to wear it because it feels uncomfortable. But with this is more, has more elasticity. So it's a lot more give. So it could be a 50-50 shot with your son. But it is definitely worth trying. And it is an affordable price, which is one thing I love, because with me having 3 kids, you can't just buy one. And I am learning that with sensory toys. It is just like every other, tool or toy out there. Once one kid has it, everybody else wants one in the family. So that's one thing I love, that if my daughter's 11, so she's out of the writing stage. She knows how to write. She loves to write. So it's with her, I don't have to worry about these. But if I would have known about these back when she was 5 and 6 years old, best believe I would have bought her dolphin kit.
Yeah. And with that band being stretchy like that, it's not constrictive either. So that may be helpful. And if you wanted to try one, you can purchase them individually on our website. We only offer the bulk packs on Amazon. But if you wanted to try one out instead of buying four and then realizing it didn't work well, then that's where you can purchase one of them.
That is very true. We have a comment. Mercedes said, I like that a lot, and I feel that would be a big help. Yes, these are super helpful, super super comfortable with holding for pencil grip compared to any other writing aids out there. That is one thing I will vouch for. My son was very hesitant. I wish I would have gotten the video of him wanting, he was so skeptical on this. And he was like, I really don't want to try it. And I'm like, honey, just try it for me. Let me get 2 pictures. Let's try it. And once I finally put it on his hand, he like had that aha moment, and you saw his face light up. So it was awesome to finally discover a comfortable handwriting aid for my 6-year-old, for sure.
Yeah, and once they get more used to it and start seeing their penmanship improve, that's just an incentive for them. And it's also important to note that the handy writer is it's a tool to help develop the proper tripod grip in that stage when that's crucial. So right around kindergarten is a great time to start using that. And it's not something that will just need to be used for years and years and years. It's a tool to train them how to hold their writing utensil properly. Once they get that down, they shouldn't need it anymore. Now, some kids just, they love it. They love wearing it. It looks cool, when you're at that age. So they may continue to use it, but it's not necessary once you get that proper grip down. And that's the time to do it, when they're developing that, before they start developing bad grasp, bad handwriting patterns that are going to lead to hand cramps, fatigue, poor handwriting, things like that.
That is very, very true. Well, that is it for today's episode, everyone. Brian, thank you again for stopping by. I haven't gotten to talk to you yet, so this was my first time. So I was super excited because as an ambassador myself years ago, I've watched you on here, and so it's been an honor to actually be able to talk to you.
I appreciate you having me. It's been my pleasure.
Well, thank you again for joining us, everybody. We loved all the comments and everybody talking with us. That is one of the things that we cherish the most, is being able to
Yes.
talk to our customers and getting to know you guys, not just as a customer, but as a human being. This has been Sensory Deal Live. We will see you next week with another Deals Filled Thursday. Bye, everyone.
Have a good night.